All right, welcome back, guys. Hold on, let's get the official start. So this is the official retaping. We've sat down once before, but we had some audio issues, so we are here retaping again. And we were just discussing Erin's PR.
I don't
want to
start
discuss.
this.
We're just going to say that Erin is a master of the PR. She has so many. She has the gym most. There may be some technique behind it. We don't know. She may just be good at it. She may just be doing really well. I don't know. But what we do know, Shaun, unfortunately for you, that she is number one, like 3 years running now. I'm pretty sure you're the most attended member. We just got the 2023 stats from Modify, and you were number one again.
Yes.
Shaun was fourth. Not bad. I mean,
bad.
it's not bad. Compared to one, it's not the best. But
It's not. But
Finally won something.
there was some good competition, though. I mean, Fritz and Jason,
Yes.
I could see that. They're pretty consistent.
But I do want to go back, and it may feel like a little bit of repeat in our heads, but since we're going to release this, I want to kind of go way back to the beginning and how you guys started, and kind of retell that story for a lot of members, especially the newer members. And really, I think most members probably don't even know the Genesis story at all. Like, I think you guys have been here the longest to date. Maybe Marcus, who we just talked to, he's been here about the same amount of time too.
Yeah, I think he started after us, but he's definitely been here a long time.
So you guys started when? Bring us back. I think Erin was the very first.
So it started back with you with Pathway.
At Pathway, right?
I wasn't happy with my workout routine, what we were doing. We were doing some stuff at home. And then your suggestion was, hey, why don't you come work out with us? So I got set up with Alana. And so I started with Alana first, and then I roped him in.
That's right.
So we started coming together. And then after that, we were doing personal training early in the morning.
Right.
So
Which was whose? I forget.
It was.
You're the morning.
I'm the early morning.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was always working out in the afternoon.
That's right, after work.
After
So the
work,
compromise was I'm not doing it in the afternoon. If I'm doing anything, which I didn't want to do anything,
Yeah.
we're going to do it
I
in the
don't want to do
morning.
anything, but if we're going to do it.
But I didn't
It's
think she'd
gonna
take
have
me
to
up
be
on
in the
it.
morning.
She did.
You thought that was your out?
Yeah.
Like, I know how to get out of this.
That's right.
6 a.m. or nothing.
That's right.
She's
But
like, all right.
now I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change.
Yeah, you guys
going
are
at
6 a.m.ers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is your internal clock reset?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
You
for
the
sure.
weekends, right?
Yeah, I can't sleep past 8
Yeah, it's
anymore.
tough. Yeah.
So then we started. So we were going in the morning with Alana at the same time, since it was in this area. The
Right,
6
'cause we only
a.m.
had the
class,
one- we only had the one building,
side,
yeah.
So we saw the 6 a.m. class while we were doing our session, and was like, maybe we can do that.
For sure. We're doing the same
Well,
thing.
maybe we can try that. And so then it snowballed from
Yeah.
there.
So how long did you guys work with Alana, would you say? A year-ish? 6 months?
Maybe
No,
six,
no.
maybe
Yeah,
6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a long time.
Gotcha. And do you think that was a good way to start? Or do you think it would have mattered, or jumping right in, or
I feel like it was the only way to start.
yeah,
For
oh,
sure.
yeah, definitely.
just
I think it would have been way too intimidating just to jump into a CrossFit
gotcha.
class.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
for sure.
Not knowing what it is, or just not knowing the movements, or all of it.
All of it.
All of
Yeah.
it.
All of it.
So you gain some confidence and some ability
Yeah.
with Alana, and then you're like, now we can do this.
Yep.
Now you're the most attended. PRs, I forget what I had that stat, but I forget, it was like some insane number of PRs.
I think it
It
was
was over
80.
100.
I was gonna say it was like 80 to 100 PR. It
I
was.
thought it was over 100.
I think it was.
Yeah.
My brain's telling me 80 to 100
Yeah.
PRs,
Yeah.
and I
That's
can't
a lot.
remember this year if Watify gave us the most. It gives us the most PR'd lift for the gym, but I can't remember if it had the most PRs for you. But I think in your profile we can look it up. So then, tell me what that first class, those first couple classes were like. Then you still had to be a little nervous, right?
They were horrible. They were horrible. I would go home and lay on the couch for 15, 20 minutes.
Just to
I was
recover.
just dead. I was
Yes.
exhausted.
Yes, but kept
So-
coming back.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it kept coming back because it was
Tell me
after
why,
that's
yeah.
over, I feel much better.
Yeah.
Right. Like the rest of the day feels better after that initial exhaustion. You
Yeah.
know.
But it still is a struggle. Like, I don't know if people realize. I think people no matter where you are on that journey, it's tough. Like, I don't think it's to be taken
Well,
lightly.
you said it best at one point because he asked you, does the soreness ever go away? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
It's just different.
It's just
it changes.
different. Yeah, you
which
learn
is
to
true.
accept it.
That's right.
It is different. I think that's probably gone for you, though, right? That
It's-
level of it, or that.
Right. It's the
Yes.
agonizing sore that goes away.
Right.
You know, I'm not struggling to go up steps anymore. Struggling to step up on a curb. But yeah, you can still push yourself as hard as you want.
Right.
You can still make yourself sore.
Right.
You just recover a little better. Your body's kind of more used to it. It's harder to push into that really sore anymore.
Yes.
Right. When
Yeah,
it was
which is
all
a
new,
weird. It's a weird
It
dynamic.
is.
I mean, you've got to work twice as hard to get back to where you were working,
Right.
or feeling like you were at the beginning
Right.
when you were working half as hard. Then,
Right.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
But the recovery is faster too.
Right.
I'll maybe laying on the ground for a few minutes after a hard workout, but the recovery time is better. The recovery time is quicker.
Yeah, I think that's probably a marker of exercise that most people we don't think about, or we
Right.
don't monitor or check. But your ability to recover from a workload improves. Like, you
Correct.
get
Sure.
muscle, you lose weight, you get cardio, you get those things that I think we're all used to saying. Like, I couldn't run a mile, now I can run a mile. I was this weight, now I'm that weight. I could only lift to this weight. But to say, like, after an hour workout, I was on the couch for 20 minutes. Now after an hour workout, I hop on the rower for
a 10K.
another 10,000
Right.
meters, and then I rest for 2 minutes and I'm ready to go.
Right.
Like, that ability, I think, is huge.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Speaking of, you were the Rovember.
I was.
Yes. So
I
you went
was.
from dying, being told by your wife to get your ass
To
in
dying
here.
that night.
Yes, right. So what was the Rovember total? What did it end up being?
220,000 for me. Ben did 212.
That was
I got
such
him
a.
right at the end. He pushed hard at the end, and so did I.
It couldn't have played out any better with both of you guys not knowing
Yep.
what the other one was doing.
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
just
funny.
beautiful. It would have
was.
gotten ugly.
And I didn't know till the next day,
Right?
and he
That was
didn't know,
perfect.
and I didn't post anything because I had been posting it on the Watify,
Right.
and of course it's on the board in there. But yeah, he was out of town. I was up here till I think 11 o'clock at night. So
Yes.
it was
It was
a
good.
hard push.
It was
at the
fun.
end. It was fun.
Now, when Montana made the board originally, we sat down and we were like, all right, what do you think? And I was like, I don't know, 1,000 meters a day. She's like, no. And I was like, yeah, I think it should be at least 30K.
Yeah.
And then we ended up at 220.
Right.
That's wild.
Well, you were third though. Would you
Yeah,
have like 38?
30 something. Yeah. I think it was Ben did a 10 or 12K row. I was like, nah, I'm done. I can't.
He almost broke me a few times.
Yes,
There was a
it's such a
Sunday that I
mind
came
game.
in that I thought I was ahead of him by like 10 or 12. And I was going to cushion it even more because Sundays were usually the day we would do our strongman, and then then I would row for however
Right.
long I wanted to because I didn't have anything else to do the rest of the day. But he was already ahead of me by like I think 15.
Yeah, what does your brain
that
tell
was
you?
hard. Like I have to do 15 just
Just
to
to
be
catch
even,
up.
and then more to be ahead. That bout broke me.
I think it is such a mental game, all of it. Working
was.
out, like every morning when I wake up, I want to just stay and snuggle
Yeah.
in bed, and especially when it's cold and it's
Yeah.
hard.
Well, she definitely, she, especially in the beginning, she was definitely the driver of us getting here.
Yes.
Doing,
Yeah, you're the most consistent.
She
You're just
is,
here,
for
right?
sure.
It's just always.
Yeah.
You never complain. Just like
Yep.
everyone's like, running, and Aaron's
Yep.
like, yeah, it sucks. I don't.
Yep.
But you just do it, right? You know,
That's
it's
right.
like
Just do it.
Did you
So,
ever? Now you grew up doing gymnastics, is that right? And you
Yeah.
were.
So
Would you say you're competitive?
Yeah, very competitive. That's why. So I started when I was 3, and then I did competitive gymnastics up to level 8 at the time.
Okay.
They've changed the leveling now, and then I quit when I was in 9th grade. And so, I mean, I was in the gym 5 days a week, 8 hours a day.
long time for gymnastics.
Long time. Very competitive. Then I played basketball in high school.
That's right. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
So
And where'd you go to high school?
Rickards.
Okay, so you played
Mm-hmm.
basketball.
Play basketball, JV, and then 10th and 11th grade I did varsity, and then I quit and didn't do anything my senior year. And then from then, just like fitness stuff was Zumba, spinning, like just elliptical stuff, and then, doing stuff at home, and then
Right.
now to CrossFit, which I mean, I really
Yeah.
like it. Yeah.
It's funny, like the genesis of somebody starting CrossFit, right? And like
Yeah.
thinking about it, and then you get the shoes. And I remember with Shaun, we were just like,
The first
he's
good
just
shoes.
wearing, I'm wearing my basketball shorts and my tennis shoes. And you're like,
Yeah.
you'll get some
Uh-huh.
shoes.
Yeah.
And then now you're on like pair number 3
I got some Metcons, I got some Nobles,
and
now I got
you just-
Brooks. Yeah, I got a new
just
pair
got
of
the
running
running
shoes,
shoes.
which they are the best running shoes.
Are they really?
Oh yeah, they're
that's
really nice. Yeah.
I think it's just inevitable. No
It
matter
is.
what you do, you're gonna buy some gear if you stay in it long enough.
Yeah.
because you're like,
For
it actually
sure.
does kind of make a difference. I want to.
It does.
It
Yeah.
does. Hmm.
So, what is different about CrossFit maybe than what you thought it would be like? Is there anything that you're like, I didn't realize I would enjoy it so much, or I didn't realize that it was so tough, or it was something I could do, or anything like that? Has there been a realization along the way, or a change of perception since you've started?
I think there's definitely a negative stigma around CrossFit in some areas.
For sure.
So that was kind of getting past that.
What did you think of CrossFit before you became a CrossFit?
I didn't really know much about it.
Yeah.
I saw crazy videos
Yeah,
of handstand push-ups and people
Right.
running and
Right.
laying on the ground. It's like
Right,
I'm
it's-
like, are we really going to do that?
Right. It's not what you think of a gym, right? When I think of a gym,
Right.
I think of dumbbells and I think of, machines and things
Sure.
like that. It was definitely outside of the box and probably wouldn't have even tried it if
Right.
not for you and Alana and,
Right.
feeling comfortable around you all. And this is what you were doing. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, we can try this.
Sure.
So-
Now, is it weird to be made the switch where now you're looking at it as something maybe I could or couldn't do? I'm not even sure this is crazy to like, I'm going to try to bench press this much, or I'm going to try to PR this, or people are asking me how to do something. Like that shift has to be different, right? Because now you've been here for the longest.
3 years.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like all the lifts, and the lingo
Yeah.
and the Olympic lifts, like what's
It
that?
definitely has its own lingo. for
That's
sure.
true. I think
Yeah.
that's as much as intimidating to anybody as like AMRAPs and
Yeah.
WODs and
Right.
Yeah.
these things, and what's your bench press, or what's your snatch, and what's your clean and jerk, and all
Yeah.
those things can be confusing, I think. And
Very
themselves.
confusing. And sometimes when I'm trying to explain it to my brother-in-law after I get done here and go to work, and I'm like, "Oh, here's our workout today," and I'm like, "Da da 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 da." He's like, "Huh?"
Yeah. So you ran and
Right.
you lifted some weights or something?
That seems like a lot.
Yeah, I think the volume is always surprising. So what is that like? Tell me where you're at now in your headspace. Like, how do you view coming to the gym, or how have your goals changed? Like, what were they in the beginning? Just see if I could do this, and then
Survive.
Survive.
That was my goal in the beginning. Was just
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah.
Get stronger and try not to be as sore as I
Right.
used to be.
yeah. And then now it's what? I mean, you went through that early stages. You had an injury that was pretty significant, right? You
Yeah,
separated your shoulder.
Yep.
but
Both of them.
Still kept coming,
Yeah.
right? And
And
that's tough, man.
It was. It taught me what not to do, but it also taught me a lot of what I could do beyond that, right?
Right.
Like, even if you have an injury, you still have other parts of your body that you can work
Sure.
out, right? You don't have to use that as a crutch,
Right.
You can do other things. There's always something you can do. I mean, Ramsey said it, there's always something you can do. There's always
Right.
something. You just come and move.
Yeah.
Even if you're hurt, even if you've got an injury or something, just come and move around,
Right.
How
How long do you think it took you to embody that, though? Like going from hearing someone
year.
tell you that to
a year when I finally was able to do some things and it finally felt like it was over. That's when I realized that I was at the end, and wow, that was a long journey,
Yeah.
but we made it.
Right.
So
It is. It's such a. I think injuries are a weird thing to happen, and they're emotional in the beginning, especially if you've gotten attached to the things that you're doing, and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm really feeling great, and I'm hitting these things and the strides, and then you get kicked in the teeth, and you're like, dang it,
Yeah.
it's all for naught now, or like
That's
that
right.
demoralizing attitude.
especially upper body stuff. I mean, for guys, upper body is
That's
like
right.
the
If you can't do
thing,
bench
right?
press,
like,
then
that's it.
there's
I don't want a
nothing
leg
else.
day. I don't want to do legs.
True. So what are your fitness goals now then? Like, what does that look like? Are you guys setting new goals? Are you in this, like, what does that look like? I see Erin shaking her head.
Well, I finally got dubs.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I did them a
well,
couple.
you strung a bunch together today, though.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I just did one. I just did one.
I misunderstood.
But I mean, that for me, like, it took me 3 years. I mean, and finally now, something that I can work on for sure.
Right. Yeah.
But like with the lifting stuff, it's always just trying to do just a little bit more.
A little more.
On, the back squats and the bench press. And I mean, I've really enjoyed the Sunday cycles that we've done. I think that's helped tremendously when we're just focusing on one lift over a certain amount of weeks. Like that aspect has really made a difference. And then even with Rovember, like I did 1,000, meters every time we came in, just because that's what we said we were going to do. But even doing that has helped with, now we're doing the rowing stuff. So like, it
changes your perception, doesn't it?
For
like
sure,
I think
yeah.
when you do something like a long row or a long run or the 200 burpees or whatever, your set point moves, right? It might have been like, 1,000 meters is a lot. Now 1,000 is like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
just bang out 1,000 meters, right? It's nothing,
it's all
right?
perspective.
It is.
Yeah.
It's weird how that happens, and that definitely happens in fitness. But
Yep.
So you guys worked together and you guys met. And then, so give us a little bit of that personal story. So you guys dated for a while, got married. Are you both from here? Like, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I'm born and raised.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't know you were born and raised here. So where'd you go to high school?
Lincoln.
Okay. What year did you graduate?
2001.
Okay. And then you guys met, dated for a while, got married. What? Tell me. Give me some. Give me some of that. Anything good? Anything funny? Someone didn't want to date. Someone didn't want to get married. Nothing.
No.
No. There has to be some dirt in there. No.
No.
All right. And so then you guys have been married for how long?
5 years.
5 years.
I had to think about
Yeah,
that.
I know. I was like, oh God, why'd you ask me that? That's what Mark is one of the questions. He's like, just don't ask me I was asking about his wife, and he's like, don't ask me when we got married. I won't put you on the spot. All right, good deal. And then, so you have a daughter, and how old is she? She's the same as Bird?
She's 17.
Okay, that's what I always remember.
She's a senior in high school this year.
And what's her name?
Taylor.
All right, and she goes to Leon?
Leon, yeah.
Okay. And where do you work now? Neither of you are at Lowe's now, though,
No.
right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Thank God. Yes. No, I don't want to say anything
couldn't-
bad about that place.
You couldn't drag me
corporate
back
America.
there.
No,
It's not.
I
No
hated
way.
working there.
Yeah. I remember with Erin, you've always been in HR, right?
Yes.
Yes. And so that was always like, I love to hear funny HR stories. And man, there were some good ones at Lowe's.
From
She's got
Lowe's,
some good
yes, for
ones.
sure.
God.
Yeah.
It was just amazing, the stories that she would bring in. And so now you work for who?
So I'm at GT Technologies, HR manager, and I've been there 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember when you made that switch. It's been a little while, though.
It's been, yeah.
Okay. You like it?
It's been 7 years.
I
Yeah,
know.
been
Yeah,
7 years.
I do. It's automotive, so it's got its own,
Set of people and set of things,
Yes.
which you can't talk about because it's HR, right? As a
I'm
good
not
HR
gonna
manager, you're not allowed to talk
I'm
about
not going
that.
to disclose any information about GT right now.
There was a girl, I remember, I think I told you this story of she had a blog, and it was like, this is back in the early internet days, but it was just like a blog of all her HR stories from her job. And I remember just being like, oh my God, does that really happen? And then that's how I started asking you about, is that true? Do people really do this?
Yes. I said one day I'm going to write a book. That's like our joke.
It would be
I'm gonna
great.
Write a book. Yeah.
It would be, yes. If you could articulate those stories, I think it would shock people.
For sure.
Because you get
What
all
we
the
go
stories,
through.
right? You see
Yeah.
all the things that happens, right? If you do one thing at work and it's weird or odd or you got in trouble for, you think, oh, it's just the one thing. And you're like, no. All these couple hundred people are doing those kind of things. Yeah.
People never cease to amaze you.
For sure. Never a dull moment.
No.
And so you left Lowe's for what? What are you doing now?
I left Lowe's and started a construction company with my brother-in-law.
Okay, so you guys started the construction first.
Yep. So it was right after Hurricane Michael. There were
wow.
a bunch of his previous clients where he used to work before that needed some help, and he had kind of gone out on his own, and so then he pulled me into the company.
And had you always been in construction, like growing up, or what? Like,
yeah, so early 2000s, right out of high school, I went to Lowe's, and then I left Lowe's and went to a construction company.
okay.
It was a construction company doing superintendent stuff for a while. Then 2008 crash happened, housing went down, so I went back to Lowe's. And then the first chance I got to get out of Lowe's, then he brought me over to do construction stuff. So yeah, it was kind of second nature at that point.
Sure.
Then the construction kind of went by the wayside because our design business exploded. He taught me how to draw.
So you were doing the construction and design simultaneously?
We were doing construction, design, home inspections, anything we could really get our hands on because we were new.
Sure.
So anything that would bring in money, that was what we did. Then we narrowed it down as we got more and more popular, or got more, out there, networked. Sure. The design seemed to be where we wanted to focus our attention. And so now we do designs on remodels, additions, new construction, anything really residential.
Yeah.
So.
And I think I know the answer because we've talked about that, but you don't miss the construction.
I don't. No, I miss being out there. I miss being with the clients and hands-on, seeing something come together. But I do not miss the babysitting. I do not miss the not showing up and just lying to your face about I'll be there in 10 minutes and never show up or. You
miss the good things, but all the bad that comes with it, it has to be draining and exhausting.
It is. And now with the design, we work with a ton of different contractors, and so we're able to go to the job sites and see the progress and stuff. But I don't have to deal with all the little nitty gritty.
You get to see your creation,
That's right.
I guess, come to fruition. Yeah. That must be kind of cool though to see. Yeah, that's interesting.
I had a house in the Parade of Homes this year that we designed.
Nice,
real modern home, and it won a gold medal in the Parade of Homes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really neat.
That's interesting. Are you a creative guy by nature, or
I in certain circumstances I am. I wouldn't say I'm like the most creative.
Sure.
Jack is definitely my partner is definitely the creative one. He's the vision, can just see something that most people can't see.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's fun to create and design, and as you get going with it, it kind of evolves.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that's for sure. As I've been ever evolving.
Right.
You know what? Which is probably that's a fault of mine, is I'll be like, oh, that's such a good idea, let's do it. And then you're like, I don't plan out the steps 3, 4, and 5. And then I get there, I'm like, oh, we probably should have done 4 back here in the beginning. But it is fun to kind of see that stuff build on itself and come to fruition and I know you've helped us in some of that design and the containers out back. And that was actually like my first time where I was like, let me pump the brakes for a half second, Jeff. Let me just see what it would look like before I bring in those things. And that was like me not jumping at the the first idea and
because being able to see it in 3D is totally different.
Yes, that was amazing.
Right, that is a game changer, and it's been a game changer for us. Being able to see that. A lot of times, before people would have to kind of take our word for it. Yes, this is.
Or you have to have the ability to translate a 2D into your brain into a 3D, which is a skill in itself.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So what's 2024 bringing for CrossFit for you guys? Are you going to be number 1 again? Is there like a challenge?
She's not going to be number 1 again.
Is that?
Well,
I remember when you
know the challenge. You see her face. She's like, yeah, right.
I don't have a target on my back here.
Right.
I remember.
You beat me at everything else.
I remember when it was like Committed Club, right? I remember when you were like, I'm definitely going to do, and you had to come, that's right, you had to come do like a PT session or something the very first time with Ramsey, right?
Yep.
Because she kept hitting Committed Club, and you're like, damn it, I'm doing that.
That's right.
And then out of the gate, a couple things hit, and you had to, that's when you injured yourself.
Yeah. Murph. I did.
That's right.
I did box push-ups and then Murph the next day, and it just ruined my shoulders.
Yes.
It was too many reps, right? And I'm still hesitant when I see something that's a lot of reps but low weight. I still get a little PTSD.
It is deceiving.
It is
deceiving.
That's funny.
So
tell me, going back to the beginning, like when you started with Alana, did you have an idea of what you wanted to do, or did you just like, I just need to change, I need a routine, this is not working, or did you have a bigger picture in mind, and would you have guessed that it would be where it is today?
Never would have guessed that. I think you had said at one point, just give it 3 months or 6 months or something, and so I'm like, what the hell or whatever.
That's right.
Let's do it. But I mean, It's been really good. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm so much stronger now, and you know, things I never thought I was capable of doing, like, you know, lifting wise,
Sure.
you know, I'm doing, and you know, it's different. So it's something different every day. Like, no workout is the same, and I think that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
That's what I like about my job, but you know, it's something different every day. Like, it's not the same thing day in and day out. I think, you know, running on a treadmill or on elliptical, it's like the same thing day in and day out. It's like, you know,
It gets tough to do that repetition.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right, so Shaun, what's your favorite lift? Do you have one?
I just pick one.
Style?
I do like snatches because it's so dynamic.
Really?
I do.
I don't remember. Did I ask you
But-
this last time?
But like deadlifts and back squats,
That's
of
what I
course,
would've thought you
because
would've said.
But
Yeah.
well, yeah, because you look at a deadlift, you got 3 plates on there.
Right, it is
That's
fun to
it
lift.
feels very satisfying.
Yes.
But
you like the technical side?
I do
though?
like the technical side of it. I think part of that is because of my injury. Right,
Uh,
so I wasn't as technical before. I just wanted to lift heavy. I wanted to get a PR. I wanted to, put up as much weight as I can. But in having that injury, it slows you down and pulls you back and makes you focus on that technique. And so the technical ones now are kind of more my favorite.
Yeah. And they provide a challenge in and of themselves from a different perspective, right?
Right.
The challenge of lifting some really heavy weight
That's
is
right.
different than the challenge of, like, I can't quite get that last tweak on my
Yep.
form because I know if I could get that thing,
That's
it would
right.
lead to this thing. And
That's right.
Yeah, so it
You know
helps.
when you did it wrong. You know when you did
Yes.
it right. It's that, oh, I did it right this
Yes.
time. That's satisfaction.
Especially for the snatch, right? Because it
Yeah.
feels like
Right.
that felt like a yearling giraffe, like doing something, or like, oh my god, I think I'm an Olympic
Right.
athlete, right?
just like floated up in the air.
Yes.
Like that was amazing.
The snatch is very much one or the other. I feel
It
like
is.
that's interesting.
It's like hitting a straight golf shot, right? Like that one shot. It's like, oh, that's why I do this.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes,
amazing.
and
And
that
then I
keeps
do
you going.
12 wrong.
Yes, I don't have the patience for golf. The harder I tried at golf, the worse I got,
Yeah, you can't try at golf.
and
No.
then it just got worse and
Yeah.
worse. And I
You
was
just drink.
frustrated.
That's just-
Yeah.
But you don't drink, so it's
There
no
you
fun for you. Right.
All right, Erin, what about you? What's your favorite?
I actually like snatches too.
Do you really?
Just because they're humbling. And,
They are.
I think the first time I did one with a barbell, I just fell over,
Yes.
and so to go from that to now is like it's a lot.
I think too, just being able to. There is something in discussing that it sort of puts you into a different category of weightlifter to a certain degree. Almost like,
For sure.
I know what an Olympic lift is, and I know what this snatch thing is, which is
Right.
I imagine. 90% of people who go to gyms have no idea what that is, or if they do, they couldn't perform it.
Right.
Right.
And then just to be able to do it, even if it's not a huge caliber of weight or whatever, but your form looks good. He knows how to snatch. That's impressive.
Yeah.
It puts you into a different category of lifter. I know that's Bird's favorite, and she likes to.
I like
the
back
tech-
squats too.
Yeah,
right
I would have.
now.
I would have thought you would have said like clean and jerk.
Yeah, though those have gotten really heavy, so
Yeah.
they're not my favorite
favorite?
anymore.
Back when you were getting PRs every week, it was easy.
Right,
This
exactly.
is great. There is something satisfying though about getting in the beginning. I think those gains come quicker, right? Because
Oh,
you're
yeah.
learning some
Definitely.
neuromuscular control. You're learning some
Yeah.
coordination.
You don't really know how much you can lift yet,
Yes.
right? Like you're not used to pushing yourself
Right.
to that limit, right, of not enough or too much.
Yes.
It's hard to find that
Yes.
balance.
And mentally, it's hard
Yeah.
to put yourself in that compromising position that it potentially could be too much.
Right.
Right. That's a scary place to be with
is.
a X amount of weight, whatever
For
it is on your
sure.
back. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a pound more than you can handle, then it's astronomically heavy, right?
That's
Whether
right.
it's 100 pounds or 300 pounds, it doesn't
right.
matter. That's a certain mental space to get there.
Yeah.
Sure.
What's your least favorite, Erin?
Burpees, for sure.
You know what
Yes,
Marcus said was his favorite?
his burpees are his
Burpees.
favorite.
Really?
I've never heard anybody say. I've never heard anybody say. He goes,
Something wrong with him.
No way.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they're just not. They're not for you. What if we should do a month of burpee challenge?
You just put Marcus on the top.
Just put Marcus. Yeah, I don't know if he would. That'd be interesting. What surprised me is we did a burpee challenge one time. We had to stop it because it got out of control.
Oh,
like
really?
it just like the rowing. Like you think it's going to be like, oh, people will do 10, 20 burpees after every workout. And then someone came in and did like 400 one day.
Oh my god!
And like hurt themselves. Like their elbow was like, I was like,
jeez.
okay, we underestimated like people's competition. It's amazing.
That's crazy.
So what about you, Shaun? What's your least favorite?
Split jerks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that out this week.
Just did them, right?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
What
They're-
about them?
I'm just terrible at them.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
form and
it's such a weird movement.
It is.
You know, but again, it makes me want to work on it.
I was gonna say, did it intrigue you
Of
and
course.
make you want to like?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went I think I went a little heavier than I should have early. Bird kind of reined me back a little bit, you know, about my, you know, foot placement and
Sure.
stuff like that. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, well, next week I'll go lighter on the weight so I
But
can
I'm gonna get
focus
that
more on the
foot.
technique, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my foot is weird. Like, it just,
It doesn't
just
want to
weird.
behave.
It doesn't want to. Yeah, it doesn't want to do what I tell it to do.
That's
so,
funny.
but
That's
yeah,
funny.
they're no fun.
So let's shift one last time before we end. Let's talk about some hobbies. What do you do outside of here, Shaun? I know you ride bikes.
I do like riding motorcycles.
Tell us about that. Not
Um,
Harleys.
Not Harleys.
Yeah.
No.
What's the official term for the style you ride?
Sport bike.
Okay, sport.
Yeah,
we
sport
can't say
bike.
crotch rocket. Is that
No, I mean, you can, but you know, it's
not
not
the accepted term?
It's not the most favorable term now. No, sport
And-
bike. I am getting a little aged out on the sport
Oh,
bike.
yeah.
Though.
does it make you nervous at all?
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah.
It was almost a deal breaker
Really?
for a motorcycle.
I asked the question:
Yeah.
if I
Just-
get one, is it a deal breaker?
Oh, like when you when
Yeah.
you bought one.
Yep.
So you won't get on it?
No.
Yeah,
no.
I remember when I got my motorcycle license. My roommate had one, and I came to a stop sign like because they accelerate and stop so fast. Like it was surprising me, but I was coming quick, hit the stop sign, stopped on a dime, perfect, didn't do anything wrong. But a big semi truck went by on a country road, and like my whole bike shook. I never got back on a bike.
Oh.
I was just like, if I was a little off, if he was a little off, it just scared me so much that it's. I guess you have to learn to let go of that, though, right? Like.
That's part of the exhilaration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
You
live
either
on
like that or
edge.
you don't.
Yeah,
Right.
it was too much for me. That moment
Yeah.
was like,
But I think it's made me a better driver just because I pay attention more. I'm constantly. It's hard to explain.
even
but
in a car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when you're on a bike, you have to drive aggressively,
Yes.
right? Defensively, aggressively, assertively.
That was the other thing
You
I
have to
noticed.
make yourself as big as a car.
I was exhausted after
Yeah.
driving, like learning how to ride a bike, and I was just exhausted at the end of like a short ride. I was just
Yeah.
like, because you're always just checking,
yeah.
checking, fast, slow, this, the road, that, them. You're watching for them and you. When you're just driving, you're just worried about you. You don't really
Yep.
think about other people
and they're not thinking about motorcycles either.
at all.
No.
It's hard to see them. It's
It
it's a
is.
little different.
So you treat everybody like they're trying to kill you. right?
Interesting.
Everybody like they didn't see you. You're just invisible to them.
Yeah.
That's how you ride.
It's weird that the human brain must just get into seeing cars because even at night
yeah.
with one headlight, it confuses me sometimes.
Yeah, because they're rare. They're more rare. There are other countries that motorcycles are more dominant than cars are. You know,
okay.
and it's totally different though. Like their society is set up around that. Roads are
so
different.
even our roads aren't set up for it.
Right.
So like, what changes would be different? Do you know? Just the
Yeah,
size
they
of the road and the-
yeah, size.
culture.
The culture. That's the whole culture around it. They're just they're.
interesting.
It's more aware, right? They're more aware of the motorcycles and things like that.
Do you get like I know riding a actual bicycle around town, you get people yelling at you, throwing shit at you. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
same way with a
No.
sport bike. No,
No.
it's not
I'm
redneck
going by
enough.
too fast.
That's true. They can't.
They're like, what the
catch
hell
you.
is that?
That's true. That's true.
No, but usually we ride out of town. So I
Yeah.
usually ride with a group. I don't typically ride by myself.
Gotcha.
It's better in a group. Obviously more visible. You have 3 or 4 or 5, 6 guys. You know, but we tend to meet up somewhere and then ride out of town.
Okay.
So we're not in traffic. I'm not, you know, I don't want to go up and down Monroe Street or Capitol Circle or no way.
Yeah, it's just more. It's a better experience, right? The curves
Yeah.
and the hills and
Yeah.
the scenery
Right.
and the
Stop and go traffic's not.
It's not exciting.
Yeah, I'm not a
When you're
kid trying to
20.
get to
Yes.
class, right? Like,
You're doing it for the experience.
yeah.
So no riding for you, Erin?
No.
No, not at all. Yeah, I can't say
She
I blame
she
you.
does like watching the MotoGP races, though.
I
The
do.
motorcycle races. She really
Now
does
is the
like that.
MotoGP? What is that? Is that like a NASCAR track or is that like a?
No, this is like the Formula One
Okay.
for
Motorcycles.
motorcycles. Yeah, they are the top elite prototype motorcycles. You know, you can't just go buy one of those.
Right.
So
Interesting.
yep.
And then
That's
you guys
fun to
went to
race
one,
all
didn't
over
you?
the world.
Yeah, we went to Austin.
Texas? Yes.
Yeah.
that was a lot
In
of fun.
April.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was cool. Now, is
Yeah.
that obviously something you wouldn't have got into if you didn't?
No.
No, that was
Shaun,
all
right?
me.
Yeah.
Never.
Now, are you just getting into it because you know more about it, or what do you think? Like, what is the draw now to it?
I think originally I just liked one of the guys' names because
Yeah.
he was from France, and so like just saying his name, and then just hearing when he was watching, hearing the commentators just talk about him, like kind of over and over again. I finally sat down and was like, it was actually interesting. It was a short race, like it was only like an hour,
Oh,
and so
I don't even think they're that long.
or
From
45
start to
minutes.
finish, it's
from-
probably 40, 45 minutes.
okay.
But these guys go so fast.
Yeah.
It's like but being there in person was a completely different experience. The noise, the sounds, like
It's the whole
it
atmosphere.
was, yeah.
Sporting
it was-
events in general,
it was-
I think,
it
are
was
made to
so
be.
fun.
They're made to be experienced, not
Yeah.
necessarily watched. Just like
Yeah.
that for most everything.
Yeah.
And we got to go through the pits, like
Oh, nice.
In
right.
one of the garages.
So her guy, Fabio Quattraro, that's who she likes. We get into the pits and he's walking this way, and she's like,
She's already geeking out. She doesn't even know. That happened quickly.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yep.
Yeah, but when you get attached to it, I think, again, now you have somebody to watch in the race. It makes it a
Yeah.
little more exciting.
right.
Now
And
you're a
like,
fan.
Yeah, now you're a fan.
right.
You have a little vested interest in it. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the commentators, I think, for those sports, I think they do a better job. I remember watching the Tour de France when Lance Armstrong was getting into it. I got into cycling, and you can watch like a 3-hour race, and they're talking for 3 hours about and nothing really happens in bike racing visually on a screen for a long period of time, but
Yeah.
just the commentators, and they are forced to talk about this group of guys for 3
Yep.
hours, and they just have all the stories.
"Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They know all their backstories. They know all about them. They know
Yeah.
all the history of them, and you get engrossed in it. And I think, at least my experience, like traditional American sports, is about, that tackle, that hit,
yes."
where you don't necessarily learn
I agree.
about the story of the people and
Yeah,
things like
I
that.
agree.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, learning the story about the people is definitely the intriguing portion of it. I mean, my favorite Rossi is. I could tell you all kinds of stuff about him. She gets bored.
Yeah.
but-
So what about you, Erin? What do you do outside of the gym and work? What's your hobbies?
I like to go to the beach.
That's true. You are a beach girl, aren't you?
Beach girl for
Yeah.
sure.
What's y'all's favorite?
St.
Local?
George, Destin, Panama
Yeah.
City. So we haven't been in a while.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Very cool.
St. George is easy because
It's St. George,
2 hours.
Yeah.
and it's beautiful.
it is.
Right, you
Yeah.
get so close, but it is one of the premier.
Yeah.
Now, are you a beach person before you met her? Or?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Good
we,
deal.
we definitely like the beach. When we got married to the beach.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Panama
Panama City
City.
Beach. Destin was too expensive. We wanted to go to Destin, but it was way out of our price
Like,
range.
maybe not now.
Yeah, no.
So, how did you propose?
We were at the beach.
Hey, look at that. I think we got a theme here.
We were at the beach on a little swing. And then
Yeah.
just proposed to her on
Had
a
you been
swing.
thinking about it for a while? Give me some backstory. You had to be nervous.
Yeah, I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous, but I mean, we had talked about it before. We were
Okay.
both adults,
Right,
so it wasn't
yeah,
like
you
we were
weren't 21.
kids, right? So we had obviously talked about it before. It wasn't like I thought she might say no, and there's always a possibility. But,
So you got married at the
Yeah.
beach. So the beach is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the retirement spot?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. She's like, all right, cool.
We retire today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sean's already working on the house.
That's right.
Good
That's
deal.
right.
Yeah, I know we talked about you guys have come to the lake a couple times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that lake
That was
is.
fun.
Lake Mystic is
Yeah.
that's like the beach for me. I like
Yeah.
it's a little less sand, not quite as hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't get sand everywhere and
That lake is a diamond, though, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not usually a lake. Like, I'll go fishing, stuff like
Sure.
that, but swimming in a lake,
yeah.
But your lake is totally different.
It is.
Crystal
So-
clear water.
yes.
I mean, yeah, it is.
It's used so infrequently, I think,
Yeah.
is the key.
Yeah.
And I hope it stays that way, but a large chunk of it is an older population that's been there for a while, and they don't
Yeah.
necessarily use it.
Mm-hmm.
4th of July, there might be 5
I
boats.
mean, I've been looking for a piece of property
I
there
know,
for how
right?
long?
It's been a while. They don't come up very often.
Nope.
Yeah, that's true. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming back. I appreciate talking. It's good to be in front of royalty, CrossFit Midtown royalty, the most attended, the most PRs. Maybe you'll get there one day, Shaun.
Maybe, I don't know. That's a lofty
That
goal.
would be funny to see the
She
competition because you wouldn't let him win.
Of course
Oh
not.
no,
No.
she would definitely not. She likes beating me by 1 rep.
Yep.
Yes,
She-
I
we
did the other
definitely, we
day.
definitely watch each other when we're in the, if we're
that.
close. We're definitely watching and pushing. The Murph, I mean, her air squats.
Yeah.
She was catching me on the air squats.
This most recent one,
Oh,
or
yeah.
When we
Yeah,
did,
the one
no,
we
when we
just did.
did
The half Murph one?
The
The half Murph,
with
that's right, I'm sorry,
Jason,
Jason.
yeah.
Jason.
Jason's
Murph.
send out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So you guys are competitive with each other?
Oh yeah,
Look at that. That's what makes it fun, though, right?
it is. It is.
Yeah, it's part cheering on when they beat you. I think that competition.
Yeah.
Stacy's that way too. We're pretty competitive.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm going to get beat by somebody, I would rather be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
I'd rather-
Bird, I'm not that way. 'Cause she has youth on her side. It's just not fair. Like I'm not cheering for you at all.
Yeah. For sure.
I wanna
Yes,
beat
I agree with that. Yeah. I would
You're
be the
gonna
same
beat
way.
me. I know it's inevitable. Like I don't
Right.
have to.
But not today.
Right, exactly. I don't have to cheer you on. Like I know it's gonna happen.
Right.
But every moment, like we went for a run. Oh, we were up in North Georgia for Christmas, and it was actually the morning before we got sick. But it was up a mountain, so we were gonna do a workout up the mountain. And I smoked her. Oh God, it was so beautiful. It like made my week. I was like, yes, the old man still has it.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, and then I'm sure if we came in the gym, it'd be a different story. But
Yeah.
any chance I get. All right, guys. Well, thank you.
Cool.
It's been
Thank
fun.
you.
Thank
yes,
you.
and I'll see you at 6 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
Monday. Well, not Monday, but Tuesday.